What up, everybody? It's your boy Adrian. We're back. Well, last week, about 6 days ago, the breaking dramatic news of the Sharon Moore situation popped off, and Michigan fired Sharon Moore with cause, and we know the rest with the personal stuff and having an affair on his wife with the young lady. So I'm not really gonna dive deep into that. The situation just super dark and it's crazy and it's affected a lot of people, the coaching staff, the players. It's an unfortunate situation, man. And it just paints another dark dark picture on this Michigan program, especially with the athletics. And it leads to my first point before we get to what I think Michigan's going to do in the coaching search. One, Ward Manuel, who I think has done a terrible job as athletic director. All these scandals with the Juwan Howard thing, especially with the Jim Harbaugh situation and all that. Then you had the field hockey coach and some other stuff going on. It's just, my thing was, I'm not going to get into all the details of that stuff, but just the fact that there always seems to be something with the athletic department. It's just something after another, and it's all been done under Ward Man's watch, especially with the Xavier Center thing, with him allegedly driving, crashing his car drunk, whatever. Point is just something after another. I want to focus on the big picture in this football program. They can't do that. I think Ward is operating that, and now when it comes to Michigan leading this coaching search, we don't know if Ward is leading it. They said he was safe for now, but Michigan has hired an independent company to lead an investigation into the athletic department. So I don't know what that entails. I don't know how long that's going to take. So we don't even know who's going to hire this coach, whether it's him, whether it's the board of regents. Michigan has an intern president as well right now, but I still don't think that will affect them. Think about Michigan. They have a big brand. They have big boosters. They have a lot of money, so I don't think that's going to deter some of the bigger name coaches that they're going to go after them. But I just wanted to say that I think Ward needs to be out of there and need to find an AD, and I still think you can find an elite coach who still want to be there. Even if you have it, say an intern athletic director and intern president, because it happens. It's happened all over the country before as well. So I just think you need a fresh start and a new chapter start in 2026 with this athletic department and move on, because Michigan basketball is doing well. That was a good hire by Ward Manuel, so it doesn't seem anything with him as of now. So hopefully nothing. I don't think with Dusty made, but that's off to a good start. So you want to see some good news. You want to see the sports, but let's get into it. And it's been a whirlwind. Who knows how long this coaching search is going to take? But this coaching search needs to be wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, because as we all know, the portal opens up January 2nd, and is December 16th as we are talking now. So we only have a few weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks tops maybe to get this done. And then you have to hire the coach, and then the next thing that comes along is what players are we going to take, because Michigan's going to lose players, unfortunately. But Biff Poggi has taken over as the interim coach, and I think he's done a good job to talk to these players and stabilize. And they kind of got as a big uncle, father figure. I think a lot of these players are going to do the wait and see approach and method and see what's going to happen, especially with Bryce Underwood. I think is the most important. I think whatever coach gets hired needs to be an offensive guy. I talked about that before. I talked about it in my short. Needs to be an offensive guy who's going to develop this offense around him, because we have him for 2 years if everything goes right. So sit down, have a conversation with him, and establish that, because you need an elite quarterback to win a national championship, especially in college football. So we'll see what happens, because you've seen what happened with DJ Lagway. He entered the portal at Florida as he had a conversation with John Summerall, and they probably didn't see eye to eye, and he's in the portal. Dylan Raiola is in the portal. Brendan Sorsby is in the portal. Aiden Childs is in the portal. So I can keep going on. The portal's going to keep going crazy, and we talked about that. Michigan already lost 2 recruits from the 26 class that left and requested out of the letter of intent, and that is tight end Matt Ludwig, who ultimately just committed to Texas Tech, and Barry McWhorter, offensive lineman from Georgia. We're still uncommitted right now, so let's see a lot of these recruits, the big-time recruits. We got to keep a Savion Hyder, 5-star running back, number 1 running back in the country, or Carter Meadows, 5-star edge out of the D.C. area, and some of these bigger guys. Travis Johnson, wide receiver, was a huge get. Even a lot of guys, they're just, I think, the stars of this 26 class. So I think they're all on wait and see approach, and this is huge. So these next couple weeks are vital for Michigan. I think they're going to make the right hire. The brand sells itself in a way, but you still have to be sure. You still got to have some type of leadership, and people are going to sell this job and get a coach here who can believe he can set his mark and set a new legacy. So obviously some of the guys we're hearing, Kalen DeBoer, we heard what he came out with a statement and said he's not interested in coaching. So we'll see. I won't believe that, because they have a playoff game this weekend against Oklahoma in Norman. So if he gets blown out, I don't think Alabama wants to be in the process of trying to hire a new coach. Will he leave? I don't think so, but I still think you got to make him come out and say no. Also, another guy I've been hearing recently, like these last couple of days, has been high is Kenny Dillingham, Arizona State's head coach. He's a younger coach in his early to mid 30s. I think will be a huge boost energy wise for this Michigan program. He's coached all around the country. I know he's been at Arizona State. He was at Oregon. He was at Auburn before. He's been all over. He's been down south. He's been West Coast. So that doesn't matter. Michigan knows how to recruit. And obviously the guy who's been linked a lot to is Jed Fish. He has Michigan ties. He was Harbaugh early in his tenure at Michigan. But I'm more of the belief that Michigan wants to not, if they don't have to associate anything with Harbaugh, and kind of have a fresh start. Another guy I'm hearing, I'm just throwing names out here at this point, Jeff Brom, Louisville's coach, hasn't signed an extension. Clark Lee, Vanderbilt. You got to go after big fish. And I believe you have to get a big-time hire. You can't – I don't want them to do this thing where I love Biff, but I don't want them to say, oh, we're going to have Biff just for the 26th season and then resume the coaching. No, that can't happen. Got to be able to keep some of these players around and have to have a direction. You can't put the program on pause for a year. Also, I think some of these assistant coaches got to stay. Tony Offer had to stay. And that's the reason why a lot of these players, when they pick schools or they sign or they stay or they transfer, they don't, is because of the position coach, because that's the coach they spend the most time with. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do, but news could drop anytime. But I'm just dropping this video, so if I post it, something may drop after that. I'm gonna have to come back again because it's ever moving with this coaching situation, and it's the chaos of college for us is the wild west. Anything can happen at any moment, and this is by far in my lifetime the craziest coaching carousel that I can ever remember. So I hope Michigan hires the right guy and gets the right coach in there, and I'm rooting for it. I want it to happen rather sooner than later, so they can get focused on getting ready for this 26th season, keep these recruits in, and then focus on also getting ready for the 27 class as well, because it doesn't stop. And then also getting ready for the portal, because there's still, with the Roy Walsh structure, we've already talked about what I think Michigan need: interior lineman, defensive lineman, another experienced guy in the secondary, and also receiver, like I talked about, as long as this roster stays intact. But there's a lot of building blocks to hang on to. So we'll see what happens, but I'll be back soon to talk some more Michigan football. But it's just a lot is going on in Ann Arbor. So, hey, I appreciate all of the support. It's always go blue. Hey, it's your boy Adrian, and I'm out. Peace.